strike a chord, turn the future on. Ava Bently's heart still sings every song. From broken silence to a brand new sound. Strike a chord where her comeback found.
What if I told you one medical mistake could steal your voice? I'm Ava Bently. I sang for fun, dreaming of country stages. Then a devastating medical error damaged my vocal cords, and sometime later, heart failure silencing that dream in an instant. But I refused to let that be the end of my story. I discovered something revolutionary, AI, that could bring my music to life. Today, I'm not just singing again, I'm shaping history as an AI-powered female country artist. Using cutting-edge AI tools, I craft lyrics, shape melodies, and produce fully realized songs from my ideas. Collaborating with technology the way an artist collaborates with a producer. My musicianship guides every choice. My voice was taken, but my artistry found a new way to soar. This isn't just about tech, it's about my resilience, reinvention, and the power of creativity to overcome loss, even heart failure. My story shows how innovation can amplify the human spirit and open doors I never imagined. Ready to hear what the future of country music sounds like? Stream my AI-created songs on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and all major platforms. Then share, follow, and become part of the next chapter in music history. Don't just witness history, listen to it.
Unreleased music. Hey. Ava Bently, the flow in this moment, y'all.
Okay, it's road trip day here picking up Monique. We are headed off to the premiere of Strike a Chord in Corpus Christi, so really getting excited about that. This is our first trip together, and there will be many more to follow, but anyway, we've got a 4-hour road trip ahead of us, so that ought to be something. So I'm getting ready for my premiere tonight here in Corpus Christi, and getting ready to get my makeup done, so it's cool. So cool. It's like my coming out party.
So tell me, so you're AI music?
I'm an AI musician.
Okay.
There's a whole backstory. I used to sing, and my vocal cords were cut by a doctor. They were purposely working on my vocal cords, but cut too deep and damaged my vocal cords permanently.
Oh my goodness.
And then a few months ago, I had heart failure, and I had major heart surgery. And anyway, I didn't even realize that was like I had a story. But while I was on medical leave, I was playing with AI music and ended up writing 4 albums and put them out into the world on all the major, streaming platforms. And then the next thing you know, here I'm sitting here with multiple TV shows, and tonight is the premiere of my TV show called Strike a Chord. And so yeah, I mean, it's just like it just blew up on me in a good way.
Yeah, that's
not
awesome.
bad. So it's weird a little bit because I went from a completely different life 4.5 months ago to like this fame life.
Wow.
And it's just it's a surreal experience for me.
And so is this like debuting it here in Corpus?
It actually already went live, like on the West Coast in Las Vegas, but I think it went yesterday, premiered, and then they're doing like a launch party for Ava Bently, and so it's really neat.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to start with your eyes. So
Okay.
you want to be close for me? I'm
Everybody
like,
know they're on TV. They're on Strike a Chord.
wonderful.
On Strike a Chord. We are recording. We are going into PR event for Strike a Chord, the premiere for Ava Bently.
I know you've been busy.
I have been busy. It is crazy busy with, being in this industry. It's always something happening. So I love it. It's a change of pace for me, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, it was nice to meet you the other night. Even though it was
Yeah,
brief.
likewise. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was very brief. Sly was like, "Don't you remember me?" And I'm like, there were so many people. Like, yes, I kind of do. He thinks you look like Chuck Norris, which you
yeah.
do. Like it was like the Chuck Norris look.
I get
I'm like, yeah, I do remember a guy like that.
I get that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to be on the show with you.
yeah, likewise. So, do you also DJ at Gillies? Is that what I
Yeah.
understand?
Yes. So
Okay,
I've been a resident DJ there since 2010 when they opened. So it's been
okay,
a little over 16 years.
okay. Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
I come from the town of the original Gillies, grew up in that area.
My
And
gosh.
yeah, I met Mickey Gilley when I was a little girl. So I remember telling him I was going to sing in Mickey Gilley's one day.
Yeah, that place was really incredible, and
It
it's
was iconic. Oh my gosh, it was iconic. They filmed the movie with John Travolta and
Urban Cowboy. Yeah, the Urban
yeah,
Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy there. Yeah, so I knew several people who were in the movie at the time. So and of course that's a classic movie.
Yeah, it was really nice. Mickey, when he was a lot, when we first opened Gilly's Treasure Island, he came in and performed, and I got to introduce him on stage, and
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
yeah, so he was just a super nice man, and super talented, and um, he's definitely missed. But people still, to this day, they come into Gilly's because of the movie, and they still want to hear those songs, "Looking for Love,"
Oh, yes.
iconic song, Johnny Lee, and so people like to they still embrace that movie. It's after all these years. It's
Right. Yeah. In fact, when I was a little girl, that was the very first song I ever sung on stage was Looking for Love by Johnny Lee. And
wow.
it only happened because I wasn't originally in the group to sing it, and I was in elementary school, but the girl who was going to sing it got sick. And so I was given the opportunity, and that was when I very first got on stage to sing that song, and I was hooked when I did it. So I loved it.
Yeah. Did you know when they were looking for the music for that movie that when they found that song, it was actually written by like a school teacher or something like that, and then Johnny
Oh,
Lee
wow.
recorded it. Yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I hope it set her up for life or who the school
Yeah,
teacher was.
hope so too.
Because it is iconic. It'll go down being played in another, century from now, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one.
So you and I have some things in common besides music, and I had open heart surgery in 2024,
Oh, wow.
which I didn't know I had any heart conditions at all. I was dealing with some things and thought it was something else. And
I
You
know.
know,
Yeah.
and then when they finally did a stress test, found they were like, you have to go to the hospital right now. And
Mm.
it was that quick, and ended up having like a 5 artery bypass.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty significant.
I was
Yeah,
actually, I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just at least my heart itself was strong, but it was just all the arteries were, had to
Yeah.
be yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Mine was slightly different. I mean, same thing. They didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was chasing something. It was all kinds of things, trying to figure it out. And finally, I did one thing that triggered a heart attack, or what they call myocardial infarction, which is like a mild heart attack. And that's where they finally started to realize there was something with the heart, and started me on a goose chase for that too, a wild goose chase. And they ran several tests. I'm like, no, seems all right. Everything is registering normal. And then the cardiologist says, well, let's do one more test. And that one more test revealed that there was a problem. And even then, we weren't sure what the problem was. I had to go through other tests and um, finally figured out what it was. And of course, yeah, you got to have, heart surgery. I was very fortunate. The doctor that did my procedure was an expert in robotic surgery. And so they opted to go, and that was the goal, is hopefully we could do robotic. Was never a guarantee. It
Yeah.
could have ended up an open heart, but they did the robotic surgery, which was incredible because I remember waking up when I was coherent enough, like feeling down my chest, like, is there a cut down my chest? And they didn't. They actually punched through your sides, and one here, my shoulder, and they go in with these tiny little robot arms and joysticks, and they had to dig a trench through my heart to free an artery that tunneled inside the heart muscle, my descending artery. Instead of it being on the outside where it should be, mine was deep inside the middle of my heart muscle, and it was killing me. Every time a heartbeat, it would squeeze on that artery, and then it was getting harder and harder for it to open back up. So I lost 31% of my pumping capacity, and I was building fluid around my heart, which is going into congestive heart failure. And so it was it was a ticking time bomb for me. But they got in there and they freed it, and I have a trench cut through my heart, almost 2 inches.
Wow.
So it's pretty significant. But I
Wow.
didn't know. I mean, when they told me, like, what? No, no,
And
that's
no,
not right.
God,
I've been healthy all this time. How can that be?
yeah,
Um, so it's just I'm very, very fortunate to be here.
yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
know. Got my
Yeah.
blessings
So,
every.
yeah, exactly. Right. You get that second chance and you feel
Yeah,
so grateful. Nothing's the same. You don't see things the same.
yeah,
For me, I walked away from a really good career, and I'm I feel very glad I did that, because I felt like I was running myself into the ground, and I wasn't doing my first love, which was music. And I loved what I did, but now that I'm doing this, I realize the difference, and I'm so blessed to even get this opportunity now.
yeah. I know. I used to. I mean, I grew up singing like singing and performing, and there was a time where I was I think singing wrong, and
Uh,
kind of was hurting my vocal cords. So I took a break, and that's when I was really kind of got into DJing more,
okay.
and saw that opportunity, and it opened a lot of doors for me as well. And then just in the last recent years, I'm back to performing, writing music, and um,
Okay.
a lot of music out on, like, iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio and a lot of different platforms, and it's been really great as well. It's
Yeah, yeah. It's enjoyable,
it
It's
is.
yeah, I feel a lot of sense of pride, and it feels so rewarding to when I create a song. And then,
Yes.
when I was in Gillies for my meet and greet, I saw people dancing to my songs for the first time, and I just cried. I was overwhelmed with emotion because I had never seen that. And that just felt good. And people came up to me and told me how much they liked the music. And it's just, that's why you do it. That, that other people feel the emotion in the music, and they were inspired to get up and dance to it. And, I was just overwhelmed with, joy. It was tears of joy,
Yeah.
not tears of sadness, but tears of joy, because that was the first time I'd seen it, people dancing to it.
Yeah. I know. That's great. I mean, that's a great
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. And
Once a
like I damaged my vocal cords, and I knew there was something not right, and I kept
yeah.
singing, and I paid a heavy, heavy price for it. And I trusted a doctor to go in, you don't think about it at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, we're just going to go and take them off. I did not realize the fragility of vocal cords, and how damage could be permanent if something, were to impact them in some way, which is what happened to me. And you know, AI has opened a whole, it took a wall and created a door.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that I would have ever been successful when I was 18 and I wanted to go to Nashville. But I will tell you, reflecting back, I didn't have the stories I have now. So when I'm writing these songs, it's based on real, things that have happened in my life, the
Yeah.
heartbreaks,
Yeah.
fallen in love, the loss, the trials, the tribulations, reflecting back on my life and my childhood. I don't think I could have been successful the way that I can now with the storytelling.
Yeah. And that's what I love about, country music is the storytelling.
Mm,
There's
yeah.
so many great
Yeah.
artists. I've I think there's so um not just, not and I grew up listening to not just country, but
Oh,
every,
yeah, me. Yeah.
so so many influences in my life with different bands and artists and you
Yeah.
know that I respect and took something from.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I identify as country because I think my stories fit better there. But I love everything. I love pop. I've actually written some pop songs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put them out there in the world necessarily as, a crossover, maybe one day. But right now, I've been very, specific and committed to, I'm a country artist. I'm gonna, remain a country artist for the here and now. And I hear a lot of, AI artists, they're popping around to different genres and different voices. One day they're male, one day they're female. Listen, I don't think that that's the right thing to do if you want to be taken seriously as an artist. Pick your lane, thrive in that lane. If there is opportunity for crossover, choose when the time is right to do that, but help your fans identify with who you are, create that, solid foundation of an identity. And, from there, if you feel like you've kind of just run that, to ground, maybe a crossover to reinvent yourself because people, artists will reinvent themselves and, rethink how they want to, present themselves. Maybe that's the time you do a crossover and do something, different with
Yeah.
your career. But I don't know, maybe I'm old school, in the age of digital, ability to do those things. In my mind, it doesn't mean you should, right? So if you want to build a fan base, doing that consistently means you know who you are as an
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. But I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing, and you know, the technology that we have. It's good that you're embracing that, and I think a lot of people are. I know I follow a lot of different production things like on like Instagram, and they're always talking about different AI tools and things.
Yes. Oh my. Oh yeah. That's going down a rabbit hole. Let me tell you, there are so many tools.
Yeah.
Which one's the right one? When I started producing music, wasn't with Suno. I have crossed over to Suno, but I'm actually looking for another platform because so many are in Suno now.
Yeah.
And, they've got the right to use our voice. And I've actually heard my voice now
Wow.
with some other artists or something quite close. That it scares me, as an artist that I'm really developing, and growing, in this space. And there's nothing I can do about that. And even if I pull out of Suno, they still have, my voice. But what I've started to do now, I've done it on one clip with my new song, Back to Tennessee, that will be out on May the 29th, which was just a cute little playful song in response to Ella Langley's Choosing Texas.
Right.
I kind of crafted that story where, oh, wait a minute, I don't want him, you take him back. Send him back to Tennessee. And it was just meant to be cute and playful. But I actually went out and sang that song just on a microphone, with the track playing in the background, so you could hear my voice singing, and you would know, hey, that's her,
Yeah.
singing that song. And in my early music, I didn't know how to train my vocal twin, and so I picked a voice that was very, very similar to mine, so I actually could get up and sing that song. But now that I've been able to train my vocal twin, the voice is far more enriched with my tones, and so it's so much easier for me to put my voice alongside that backtrack and sing it, and you'll know it's me. And I'll probably do a lot more of that now that other AI artists are coming out, and I'm hearing some of my register and tones on their songs. And that's not to say they don't have a similar sound, but I do have a little bit of a uniqueness, especially from the damage in my vocal cords. And you'll hear some of that scratchy roughness, especially as I get closer to that scar tissue. And when I trained my vocal twin, it was picked up. And at first I didn't like it, but then I realized, well, wait a minute, that creates a uniqueness to my sound, that will be a unique identifier, to me. So, and I'm glad it picked up on it at the end, but I actually kept trying to redo it so that it wouldn't have it, but it doesn't matter. The cuts are where they are. And so whenever I hit a tone, and they put you through a pretty in-depth uh vocal exercise to get all of your register. And so every time we got to the register where the cuts were in the vocal cords, it would get kind of scratchy and rough, almost like that outlaw country sound. And
Yeah.
there's not a darn thing I do about it, right? But it's a natural sound that comes. In fact, I would argue my voice is probably better with some of that damage, which is kind of sad, but it does have some of that better and just scratched.
Character. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And I wouldn't have had that, before. Not that I would trade, I would absolutely go back in time and not have this damage. But it also is complicated for me because I can be singing and I hit that scar tissue, and I will get a break in the sound. Like the sound will just stop, and I can't do anything about it. That's the drawback of me trying to
Yeah.
perform live, is I don't know when that's going to happen. And I also feel a significant amount of pain afterwards. Like I was singing a song last night that I had written, and I often will, start performing it and, remembering all of the lyrics that I write, and just kind of get into a rhythm with it. And I did that, and my vocal cords were hurting this morning. So, and it's a little scratchy today. It's just, it's a consequence I pay for
Yeah.
singing.
I'm sorry that you're going through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's lifelong, and it makes me very sad at times because I love going on that stage, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna perform. I'm just always gonna be honest with people that, listen, I gotta play my vocal twin. She's gotta help me out here because I don't know when the sound will stop. And in order for them to have the best experience possible, that track has to be, playing along with me. I'll sing my little heart out. But it's not like I'm lip syncing. I'm really going to be singing it. It's just I need a little help. Got a little disability. Um, but I feel better now that all the songs I'm creating have my voice on it.
Yeah.
And like all of my Tattooed album is me. Half of my Timeless album is me. And then the other songs that are there, they're similar. I
Yeah.
can pull it off, but I feel much better now. I don't feel like an imposter as much now that I've got my own vocal twin, who's doing the hard work for me.
That's really amazing. I'm really happy that you have this opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It is a dream come true.
Yeah.
It is. And I think the music that I'm writing is it's good storytelling. And, I'm doing everything from writing about my great grandmother, in a song called Molly Johnson, where she was a pioneer in Florida, and my great great grandparents received the first land grant by President Taft to talk about, what they received from the president's pen, and they're in the history books. And my great great grandmother was half Cherokee Indian, and so there's a lot of Native American Indian influence in the song. And it sounds just beautiful. And somebody liked it so much at Gilly, they were trying to record it, and I went over to them and handed them the album stick, and they said, "If you really like that, that's my great grandmother, and you're welcome to have the album." So that made their day, and I think they were actually from Australia. So that was kind of cool. But I try to bring that kind of coolness to my songs when I can, where it makes sense.
Always grows cold, just like the shoulder I used to want to lean on. You come home, you say you're changed without a sass. You can't toss me, command the stage. I write the script. I'm the storm, the spark, the power strip. Yeah, I am Little Miss Bossy with a whole lot of sass. Hey Ella, you forgot something. She lost her voice out on that old dirt road. Dreams packed up in a busted truck. But a spark lit up in a dashboard glow. A new way back to every note. Strike a chord, turn the future on. Ava Bently's heart still sings every song. From broken silence to a brand new sound. Strike a chord.